Star Wars fans, what if Anakin Skywalker did not win the pod race in The Phantom Menace? What if little Annie wasn't freed as a slave or even died in that race? How would this affect the galaxy as a whole? What's up guys, it's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars here. Today we're starting a brand new thing on the channel called What If Fridays. And the first ever what if is what if you smash that like button. I mean, what if Anakin Skywalker did not win the pod race in The Phantom Menace? Now the way I see it, there are two ways that this could go if Anakin died in that pod race. The first one being a real big problem for Palpatine down the road.
You in big doo-doo this time.
In this version of the what if, a lot of what happened in The Phantom Menace would remain the same. The invasion on Naboo, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul, all of that would remain the same. The only difference would be the invasion would have been a success. The Gungans would have lost because the droid command ship would never have been taken down by Anakin Skywalker. But Qui-Gon would still die, and Obi-Wan would still cut Darth Maul in half, leaving Palpatine with having to find a new apprentice. And in this scenario, again, a lot would remain the same. The Clone Wars would still happen, the Republic would still get their clone army, and Palpatine would still get Dooku as his new apprentice. But around the time of Order 66 is when everything will change. Anakin Skywalker not being there to go into the Jedi Temple and kill all the Jedi Masters and the younglings would cause a huge problem for Palpatine. Because not only was Anakin willing to do anything to save Padme, he was also the chosen one. And although Count Dooku was one of the most skilled swordsmen with a lightsaber, I don't think he could do it. Taking down hundreds of Jedi Masters all at once was only the will of the chosen one. And as powerful as Palpatine was, and still having the clone army, I still don't think that he could take down the entire Jedi Order without the chosen one in Anakin Skywalker. And not only that, when the Jedi actually find out that Palpatine is the Sith Lord, that was right under their nose, they will again probably send most of their Jedi Order there with Mace Windu again, and Anakin Skywalker won't be there to chop off Mace Windu's arm before he strikes down Palpatine. So in a way, in this first scenario, Anakin Skywalker dying in that pod race in The Phantom Menace could be a good thing for the Jedi Order and a really bad thing for Palpatine and his plans. But there is a second scenario to this what if, and all of the events of the prequel trilogy would happen a lot faster without Anakin Skywalker in this second scenario. Like I said before, a lot of the Phantom Menace would still happen in the same way, except for the fact that the Trade Federation would have taken over Naboo because Anakin Skywalker would not be there to take down the droid command ship. And with Qui-Gon dying still at the end of The Phantom Menace and Darth Maul dying still at the end of The Phantom Menace, Palpatine would quickly go out and get Count Dooku as he does in the prequel trilogy, and all of the events of Count Dooku going into the Jedi Archives using Master Sifo Dyas' name to delete Kamino from the Jedi Archives would all play out the same. However, the Trade Federation and the Separatists have won Naboo, and after that, without Anakin Skywalker fighting for the Jedi, the Separatists would gain control very, very quickly. Palpatine would see that even with the thousands of Jedi on the Republic's side, they have no army. And now, before they even get this clone army, he would take it for himself. Now, Palpatine having the clone army and the droid army of the Separatists would absolutely annihilate the Republic and the tens of thousands of Jedi. And all the events of Order 66 and the Empire beginning its reign would start a whole lot sooner. So those are the two scenarios that I think would play out if Anakin Skywalker died in the pod race in The Phantom Menace. In one scenario, the good guys win in the long run because Palpatine isn't strong enough to defeat all of the Jedi without the chosen one himself. And in the other scenario, Palpatine speeds up his plan by over 20 years, gets the clone army on his side immediately, and destroys the Jedi completely with his two armies and him and Count Dooku. But tell me in the comments what you think would happen if Anakin Skywalker died in that pod race in The Phantom Menace. Smash like if you like this video, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. Like I said at the top of the video, this is a brand new segment we're doing every Friday called What If Fridays. And we're going in order of Star Wars projects, meaning this week was a what if about The Phantom Menace, next week will be a what if about Attack of the Clones, the next week will be a what if about the Clone Wars, and so on and so forth. We also do videos about breakdowns, leaks, rumors, all that fun stuff on this channel. We also go live live every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so stick around by hitting that subscribe, and may the Force be with you always.